Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. How do I tell my friend I'm going on a date with a guy she likes? 28F, 28F, 30M. There's a lot of backstory here, but I'll try to keep this simple. I've been friends with Jess for 15 years, since elementary school. It's been a tumultuous friendship in the last 8-ish years, and we've had a number of fights, mostly relating to guys. Jess has never had a relationship, and I know she is frustrated by that. She is very codependent and kind of demanding of her friends, and maybe that is holding her back romantically too. She has a very specific type, looks/finances/etc., that she won't deviate from, and those guys end up treating her badly. She doesn't need a guy, but I know she wants to have a relationship. Anyway, I've had 3 relationships, most around 1.5 years, in the last 8 years, and each one has caused a rift between us. She's accused me of abandoning her and has said some really mean things and treated me quite rudely. We've always made up, and I'm sure a lot of it is because of her anxiety and frustration, but she was 100% overreacting. Anyway, last summer we both joined a hobby group for people our age and met a ton of new friends. Jess took a liking to one guy, Jack, and had a huge crush on him. They weren't very close, but Jess would talk about him constantly and try and interpret everything he said to her. She also wouldn't make a move on him and said she was waiting for him to do it. In December, I guess she got impatient and had one of our mutual friends straight up asked him if he was into her, and he just said he didn't want to ruin their friendship, and nothing else came of that. In January, my city went into a mini lockdown, so we couldn't do big group events with the hobby group. We ended up all just splitting into smaller groups for the time being, and I ended up with Jack in my group, as Jack is really close with one of my best friends. Jess obviously joined too, probably for Jack. Anyway, I started to really like Jack the more I got to know him. I also had a really bad injury in January, and Jack was really sweet and helpful. He would drive me around and even help set up medical equipment for me at my apartment. He was very friendly to me and would always give me a hug whenever we saw each other. I wasn't sure if he was just overly friendly or if he was interested, and I didn't want to sit around trying to interpret his actions, so the other day I asked him if he might be interested in going out with me sometime. He said yes and asked me to dinner for this week. I feel bad, but I think Jack is fair game. She never made a move on him, and when a friend asked him out for her, he said he didn't want to ruin their friendship, which seems like a polite rejection. Is this a total dick move? I know Jess is going to go nuclear, and I wasn't going to say anything to her right now, but I'm not sure if it's the right move. Firstly, if the date goes horribly, I'd rather just pretend it never happened. Second, I know Jess will vent about it to our other mutual friends, and I really just want to get to know him without any drama. TL, Doctor, how do I tell my friend I'm going out with a guy she likes? Should I tell her now or wait and see if the date actually goes well? Here are some of the best comments from our community. If you don't tell her first, you can guarantee your friendship is over. I had a friend like that, and we haven't talked in years over something very similar, except I didn't tell her. BC, nothing came of it. I felt the same way you do. I didn't think it was a big deal, but my friend had developed strong feelings for this guy even though he didn't feel the same, and when it came out years later. Lord, I can't tell you how horrible that went. After about a year, I ended the friendship. BC, I couldn't take the constant bashing. You need to be upfront and tell her, because she'll see it as much bigger of a betrayal if she hears about it from someone else. Also, be prepared that there is a chance this will be friendship ending regardless. You should have talked to her before you asked him out. If you don't care about the friendship with Jess, go out on your date. If you do, cancel the date. I don't think you can have both here. If you decide to go on a date, just tell her. Who knows, she might come to terms with it. She might be miffed for a while, but if she finds out after, then be ready to accept your friendship might be over. You're a bad friend, it sounds like. TBH. Another cheating story. Caught wife in a 6-month affair. I have never felt this kind of hurt in my entire life. D-Day was 6 weeks ago. I don't feel much different today. I'm on anxiety and sleep meds, individual counseling, and couples counseling. I'm 41 years old, have lost 20 pounds, started smoking again after quitting for the last 6 years. I'm sleeping 4 hours uninterrupted if I'm lucky. It seems like everything is a trigger and I can't stop the images burned into my head. This has messed me up in ways I could have never imagined. I really wouldn't wish what I'm feeling even on my worst enemy. I finally took a leave of absence from work this week and plan to sign up for a gym tomorrow. My focus will be on getting healthy and eating right. I think I'm just one of those people that isn't capable of forgiving this and getting over it. The subject was brought up at the last couples counseling appointment, For me to figure out what I need to be able to forgive. My wife's best friend knew about her affair as it started and before it moved from emotional to physical. This woman not only knew but also provided my wife with an alibi for her to get away to see her partner. This same woman cheated on her own husband several years back and they have since divorced. Here's the kicker for me, her husband didn't know that she had an affair and still doesn't to this day. She basically approached him that she was polyamorous and wanted to start to see other people. He disagreed and they divorced. Also found out that my wife knew about her friend's affair when it was happening too. So basically they both hid each other's affairs and who knows what other secrets. My wife admitted to me that this friend supported and encouraged her affair. This woman is also convinced that my wife is truly poly and that similar to her, my wife will never be happy in a monogamous relationship. Am I right to ask her to discontinue her relationship with her best friend? Or am I being controlling? Here are some of the best comments from our community. You can be angry at the friend, but it was your wife who cheated on you. Why are you still with her? The way you are talking, your relationship is over. By the way, once a cheater, always a cheater, and a liar. Return your wife to the sisterhood and expose both of them. You need to get away from this woman. You will never be able to trust her with the friends she has. Did you know she was helping her friend cheat when it was happening? That should have told you everything you need to know about her character. Your wife cheated and yes, her friend covered for her. But the fact is, she was the one that cheated. You need to make yourself better. Get a divorce attorney. Gather all the evidence you can. Make copies for her family, and your friends. Expose her cheating. Secure your finances. She could go after all your bank accounts, credit cards. The more you try to look the other way, the pain she will inflict. Dump your cheating wife. I promise you it will be the best thing you've ever done. If you don't, the misery in this post will be what you feel from now on. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.